Greetings, everybody. It is your favorite dark sorcerer here, and today we are going to be making phylacteries, ritualized clay type tools. Now, the things that you're going to need for this is paint, something metallic perhaps. Meta, for an example, is very good. This is apple barrel. You got the prang, which is pretty good for white. Also, you know, the red. For an example, these two came from the Dollar Tree. Only $1 for both, per thing. Very, very good. These other ones came from Walmart, and these are roughly around $2-3 a container. Now these you can find in the arts and crafts section of your local Walmart. Very, very simplistic to get. It's a type of Bondo, and it literally holds things together. So you really need to get some of the stuff that will work well with you. This is also in the arts and crafts place, and it is called Original Sculptory Oven Baked Clay. Okay, it's white, and all you have to do is follow the instructions on the back. Now today, like I said, I am only using a small portion of this because of the fact that I'm making something quite simplistic. You can make anything from talismans to whatever you have in mind. Something that will fit you personally. And I'm just going to cut a piece off here. Now I'm making something about like this. Okay, and this is basically what it looks like when it's cut. Okay, and you really want to knead it. Okay, until it's nice and soft. In this case, this particular one will be very, very good. I may add a little bit more to this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But you can use anything from Norse runes to different designs. If you're into occultism, you can easily use, say, for an example, the seals of the Seven Crown Princes of the Air. You can use, then that's demonolatry and angelology, by the way. You can easily use things that are simplistic in nature, from the 6th and 7th books of Moses, perhaps, like Phalag or whatever. If you have your own personal seal, you can add that into it. Works very well. And this particular clay here is my first time working with it. I don't normally do amulets or talismans that much when I do this stuff. This is something that, how should I say this? I normally make powders and I anoint items already made. And I've been doing that for about 25 years. So working with clay is something completely different. Those of you who took art class in high school, you know that pottery is a type of clay, and it is also something that needs to be put in a boiler for like a day or two just to harden. Well, this stuff here takes about a day. And basically, what you're going to do is you're going to make the designs right here. Okay. Now you want something that's big, kind of about, if you have a thickness of something, I would recommend looking at the heating pressure, because this particular clay here roughly is preheated to roughly around 275. And that is roughly 15 minutes per 1/4 inch. And that's why I tell you to utilize the instructions. Each type of clay is different. This one says do not microwave, do not over bake. So you really want to bake this for roughly about 20 minutes or so. I'd say probably about 15 minutes for the size that I'm doing. But I would recommend literally just going by what you are trying to make. In this case, I'm making a phylactery. Okay? A phylactery is a ritual tool that you keep in your altar room or around your apartment, your home, whatever, for protection, for bonding, whatever. You know, like I said, you could put your seal on it. You could put a seal of your god if you have one, demon, sigil, whatever. It all goes right into it. But the key is getting the clay to be soft and smooth. That is the main key here. And after that, we're not gonna paint it just yet. We're gonna cook it first. But once you get it into the shape that you want, you're going to inscribe whatever your seal is. If you have a that you want, be it like I said, a rune, a seal, a sigil, whatever. Even if you want to, if you're good at art and you want to put, say for an example, the statue of Santa Morte on it, maybe one of the Loa, the Steves from Norse mythology, Norse type Scandinavian religious based runes, also known as Steves. You can do that too. Either way, you really want to make it so that you as an individual has a stake in it. You want to make it personal. In this case, I'm using ash from former packs and bending it right into it. I'm going to bake it right into this because it's something that's personal. So on this one here, it's for a friend. So in this case, putting the ashes of any pact into it really makes it personal when dealing with your gods. If you make a blood pact with, say, Aza, you know, Azazel or that of Beelzebub, Astaroth, Lucifer, Satanas, whatever, you really want to make it personal. You really want to make it that personal touch because you're linking yourself to that item. In this case, I'll be adding a little bit more to this because I want to make sure that it stays good. And it's getting there. It really is. So far, I've utilized maybe a quarter of this one here. This particular type of clay runs roughly around 12 bucks. Okay? Roughly about 8 to 12 bucks. The two Bondo agents are roughly about a dollar something, if not $2 a piece. I think I paid total of roughly around 12, 13 bucks for everything today. Very, very awesome thing to do. So, just something for you to consider. I would recommend going to Walmart, Hobby Lobbies, or any arts and crafts type store that's in your area to get this. If you're really motivated as a go getter, you can even dig up the clay from the ground, but you're going to be digging for a while, okay? Because you got to go down at least a foot just to get to the clay. And then, depending on how much clay you want to dig up, well, that's another, you know, portion of time. So you're looking at about 30 minutes plus. All right. So that's just roughly about right there. All right. So I'm going to put this over there. So when you do this, there are two things that I want you to remember. Read the instructions thoroughly. Do what the instructions ask you to do when dealing with the clay, because the type of clay that you deal with is very important. You want to make sure it's bakeable. You want to know how long and how um, what temperature to cook it at. More so, I would highly recommend that you make it personal. Okay, this means utilizing ash, utilizing your own blood. If you want, you know, inscribe your own personal seal. All right, if you have one, the seal of you and your deity. Either way, make it happen. All right, and I will be on later to show you the finished product once I have it done. Or better yet, I'm not going to show that to you because that's between me and my friend. But just something for you to consider. All right. And you can, and it doesn't have to be flat, it doesn't have to be round. It just has to be something that is workable between for you and your client. Okay. You can make it into a bowl, you can make it into whatever you want. But I would highly recommend utilizing something that is going to work for you. All right. So, with that said, have a good day and hope you learned a lot here. All right.